Imagine this. You wake up, walk to the kitchen, pour yourself a bowl of your usual cereal, or flip on the griddle for pancakes, and before you've even taken your first bite, your body is already betraying you. That mid-morning slump you brush off as just getting older, it's actually the very foods you eat, sabotaging your most vital wiring. By the time you reach for that second cup of coffee, your blood vessels are already stiffening, your testosterone is dipping, and your confidence is quietly slipping away. What if I told you that some of the most innocuous breakfast staples, those colorful boxes of cereal, the so-called healthy yogurts, even your beloved fruit juice could be chipping away at your manhood? No, it's not just a bad day. It's a predictable chain reaction that starts with the foods you consume before sunrise. Today, I'm Dr. Henry, and in my 30 years of practice, I've watched countless men unknowingly set themselves up for disappointment each morning, only to wonder why their performance, energy, and self-esteem slowly fade. But here's the good news. Once you recognize the real culprits at breakfast, you can flip the script and reclaim that rock-solid vitality. Stay with me, because in just a moment, you'll discover the 5 common breakfast foods that quietly shrink your manhood, and more importantly, how to break free from this trap for good. I'm Dr. Henry, and for the last 3 decades, I've dedicated my career to men's vascular and hormonal health. I've seen it all, from marathon runners whose morning performance inexplicably fizzled out to CEOs whose boardroom confidence slipped because of one frustrating trend: the foods they trusted to start their day. Early in my practice, I treated a patient who swore his diet was pristine: whole grains, lean proteins, fresh fruit. Yet he still found himself struggling in the bedroom and battling fatigue by mid-morning. It wasn't until we scrutinized his breakfast that the truth emerged: hidden sugars, refined carbs, and diet labels were quietly eroding his circulation and hormonal balance. Over the years, I've guided thousands of men through simple dietary shifts that restored not only their physical performance, but their self-esteem and relationships as well. From university research partnerships on endothelial function to my private clinic consultations, I've distilled the science into practical, actionable insights, so you don't waste another morning wondering, what happened to me? In this video, you'll benefit from everything I've learned about how breakfast choices can make or break your vascular health. And by the end, you'll have the knowledge and the power to protect your manhood before the day even begins. Now, I know what you're thinking. Breakfast is supposed to fuel you, not fail you. But what if I told you that hidden in your morning routine are 5 unsuspecting culprits that silently undermine your vitality? These aren't the obvious junk foods you already avoid. They're everyday staples that masquerade as healthy choices, quietly chipping away at your circulation and hormonal balance before you even leave the kitchen. In just a few moments, we'll peel back the curtain on each one, revealing the surprising science behind how they shrink your manhood and what to do instead to fortify your mornings. Stick around, because understanding this could be the single most powerful change you make today. Food number 1, highly processed cereals. You pour it into a bowl every morning, brightly colored flakes with marshmallow bits that taste like childhood. But beneath that nostalgic crunch lies a cocktail of refined grains, added sugars, artificial flavors, and preservatives. Here's what happens when you dig in. First, those simple carbs hit your bloodstream, almost immediately spiking your blood sugar. Your pancreas responds with a surge of insulin to clear the excess glucose. That dramatic insulin rush doesn't just regulate sugar, it also sends your testosterone levels into a nosedive. Lower testosterone means less nitric oxide production, and without nitric oxide to relax and dilate your blood vessels, your circulation grinds to a crawl. As your body scrambles to manage the sugar spike, it also ramps up inflammation. Chronic inflammation damages the endothelial cells lining your arteries. Those are the same cells responsible for producing the very same nitric oxide that fuels strong erections. Over time, this double hit of hormonal imbalance plus arterial damage makes it harder and harder to get and keep an erection. But here's the real kicker: because processed cereals are fortified with vitamins and minerals, they carry a healthy label that lulls you into a false sense of security. You think you're doing something good for your body, when in reality, you're triggering a metabolic cascade that undermines both your vascular health and your manhood. Next time you pour that neon-hued bowl, pause and consider what you're really starting your day with. Your morning performance and confidence depend on it. Food number 2, sweetened yogurts. You might reach for a single-serve yogurt cup thinking it's a protein-packed, gut-friendly choice, but hidden beneath that creamy layer is often more sugar than a chocolate bar. Manufacturers load these cups with added sugars and artificial sweeteners to hit that perfect tangy-sweet balance you crave, and each spoonful sends your body into a stealth metabolic battle. Here's the breakdown: once you consume those syrups and sweeteners, your gut microbiome takes an immediate hit. Beneficial bacteria suffer while sugar-loving strains proliferate, creating an imbalance that disrupts hormone regulation. A healthy microbiome supports optimal testosterone production. When it's out of whack, your hormone levels can fluctuate wildly, leaving you with less of the very hormone that drives nitric oxide synthesis and vascular health. But it doesn't stop there. Those artificial sweeteners may be calorie-free, but they trick your body's insulin response, creating false signals of incoming sugar. Your pancreas overshoots, releasing insulin pulses that lower blood sugar too quickly. And once again, that insulin spike sabotages your testosterone and nitric oxide levels. Over weeks and months, this pattern repeats morning after morning of hormone dips and inflammation, all hidden behind a low-fat or high-protein label. And because you feel good eating yogurt, there's no immediate crash like with a candy bar. You don't suspect a thing. But behind the scenes, your endothelial cells endure chronic stress, gradually losing their ability to dilate properly. If you've ever wondered why you feel foggy, fatigued, or less robust by mid-morning, this is likely part of the answer. Your gut and hormones are silently rebelling against each sweet spoonful, undermining the very circulation and stamina you depend on. Stick around, because next we'll expose another breakfast favorite that looks innocent but packs the same punch of hidden sugars and vascular sabotage. Food number 3, pancakes and syrup. Fluffy stacks dripping in golden syrup, what could be more comforting on a weekend morning? But those light-as-air pancakes are crafted from refined white flour that your body digests in seconds, while the syrup is often loaded with high-fructose corn syrup. Here's the chain reaction that ruins your vascular health. As soon as you take that first bite, your blood sugar skyrockets. Your body unleashes a surge of insulin to shuttle that glucose into cells, but the rapid influx triggers oxidative stress and inflammation in your arterial walls. Over time, this inflammation damages endothelial cells, the very same cells responsible for producing nitric oxide, which keeps your blood vessels flexible and open. Meanwhile, those repeated insulin spikes tell your testes to dial back testosterone production. Less testosterone means fewer signals for your endothelial cells to churn out nitric oxide. The net result: stiff, constricted blood vessels that impede the rush of blood necessary for both peak athletic performance and hard, satisfying erections. And don't be fooled by whole wheat or gluten-free labels on some pancake mixes. Unless the mix is truly crafted from intact grains, like steel-cut oats ground into flour, your body still treats it as a simple carb, digesting it almost as quickly as white flour. The inflammatory cascade and hormonal disruption remain the same. Even if you opt for real maple syrup, it's still predominantly sugar. Sure, it offers trace minerals and antioxidants, but the concentration of sucrose and fructose is enough to trigger the same blood sugar roller coaster. That momentary pleasure you feel as you pour it over your pancakes comes at the expense of your hormonal balance and arterial health. So next time you see those perfectly golden stacks, remember, they're not just empty calories. They're a high-octane recipe for endothelial damage and testosterone suppression, setting the stage for lower stamina and diminished performance later in the day. Stay tuned, because up next we'll reveal food number 4, a deceptively labeled item that seems diet-friendly but quietly pounds your vascular system into submission. Food number 4, fat-free pastries. You see the words fat-free splashed across the package and think you're making a smart choice. Yet to deliver that flaky texture and satisfying mouthfeel without fat, manufacturers load these pastries with refined starches, sugar alcohols, and hidden carbs, often in quantities that rival a slice of cake. Here's the hidden danger without healthy fats. To slow digestion, those starches and sugars flood your bloodstream at lightning speed. Your pancreas unleashes insulin to compensate, triggering the familiar cascade of oxidative stress and inflammation in your vascular lining. Endothelial cells. Your body's natural nitric oxide factories bear the brunt of this assault, gradually losing their ability to relax blood vessels. Meanwhile, those same insulin surges send a clear signal to your Leydig cells in the testes. Hold off on testosterone production. Over time, repeated fat-free breakfasts train your body to deprioritize the very hormone that fuels nitric oxide synthesis and supports libido, energy, and muscle maintenance. Even worse, many fat-free pastries use sugar alcohols like maltitol or sorbitol to mimic sweetness. While marketed as low-calorie, these compounds still provoke insulin responses and gut irritation. A compromised gut lining further disrupts hormone regulation, amplifying the cycle of inflammation and testosterone suppression. You might think you're saving calories and trimming waistlines, but at what cost? Your arteries stiffen, your hormonal balance tips toward fatigue, and your morning stamina slowly erodes. And because the fat-free label evokes healthiness, you likely never suspect this silent sabotage. So the next time you're tempted by that guilt-free croissant or muffin, remember, without real fats and fiber to buffer the carbs, you're trading short-term calorie savings for long-term vascular damage and hormonal decline. Your manhood deserves better than a fat-free masquerade. Food number 5, fruit juices. You reach for that glass of freshly squeezed orange or apple juice, believing you're loading up on vitamins, but without the fiber of whole fruits, you're guzzling down pure sugar in liquid form. That means your body absorbs it almost instantaneously, spiking blood glucose levels and triggering an insulin surge just like a soda. Here's why that matters. Every insulin spike promotes inflammation in your arterial walls, damaging the endothelial cells responsible for producing nitric oxide, the molecule that keeps your blood vessels relaxed and your erections firm. Over time, these repeated sugar floods erode your vascular resilience, making it harder for blood to surge when you need it most. On top of that, liquid sugars blunt your body's natural satiety signals, so you end up hungrier and more likely to snack on processed foods later, perpetuating a cycle of hormonal dips and vascular distress. Meanwhile, the rapid rise and crash of blood sugar can leave you feeling sluggish, unfocused, and less motivated to engage in the very activities that support healthy testosterone levels, like exercise. Even cold-pressed or 100% natural juices suffer the same fate. Without the pulp and fiber, they're simply high-concentration sugar solutions. Yes, they contain antioxidants, but the damage from sugar overload often outweighs any marginal benefit. So when you think you're making a healthful choice by swapping soda or coffee creamer for juice, remember that sweet sip is silently undermining your circulation, your hormonal balance, and ultimately your all-day and all-night stamina. How these foods sabotage your blood flow. When you consume any of these 5 breakfast staples, you initiate a cascade of physiological events that directly impair your vascular health. And here's how it all ties together. First, the refined sugars and starches trigger rapid spikes in blood glucose. Your body's immediate response is to release insulin, the hormone responsible for ushering glucose into your cells. But these repeated insulin surges do more than regulate sugar. They send a powerful signal to your Leydig cells to curb testosterone production. Lower testosterone means fewer biochemical instructions for your endothelial cells to generate nitric oxide, the critical molecule that keeps your blood vessels flexible and dilated. Second, the inflammatory response compounds the damage. High insulin and excessive sugar consumption upregulate pro-inflammatory cytokines, which assault the delicate endothelial lining of your arteries. As these cells become chronically inflamed, their nitric oxide output declines, leading to stiffer, narrower vessels that resist blood flow. Third, artificial sweeteners and sugar alcohols often found in so-called diet options confuse your metabolic pathways. They provoke insulin secretion without delivering real nutrients, perpetuating hormonal imbalances, and endothelial stress without the feedback of genuine caloric intake. Fourth, the gut microbiome disruption from excessive sugars and additives further undermines hormone balance. A healthy microbiome supports testosterone synthesis. When gut flora is skewed toward sugar-loving pathogens, your body's hormone regulation falls out of sync, exacerbating low testosterone and poor nitric oxide production. The end result of this triple threat, hormonal suppression, inflammation, and endothelial dysfunction, is a vascular system less capable of delivering the robust blood flow necessary for peak performance and satisfying erections. Your arteries become akin to old calcified pipes where water pressure drops and flow falters. But remember, your vascular health is not a one-way street down. By eliminating these saboteurs and embracing the right nutritional strategies, you can restore endothelial function, boost testosterone naturally, and reclaim the powerful circulation that underpins your vitality, both in the gym and the bedroom. The science behind it. Let's unpack the biology in simple terms. At the center of vascular health and male performance sits a molecule called nitric oxide. Produced by endothelial cells lining your arteries, nitric oxide tells those vessels to relax and widen, ensuring a powerful surge of blood flow when you need it most. Testosterone plays a pivotal role here. It stimulates nitric oxide synthase enzymes in endothelial cells, effectively cranking up nitric oxide production. Lower testosterone then directly equates to diminished nitric oxide availability, and without that dilation, your arteries stiffen, blood pressure rises, and achieving firm, lasting erections becomes an uphill battle. Now consider what happens when you flood your system with refined sugars and insulin spikes. Every insulin surge suppresses testosterone synthesis in Leydig cells. Concurrently, elevated blood sugar and insulin fuel oxidative stress, generating free radicals that attack endothelial cell membranes and impair nitric oxide production. Chronic inflammation from habitual sugar intake further degrades those cells, reducing their responsiveness. On top of that, when your gut microbiome is thrown off balance by artificial sweeteners and hidden sugars, it disrupts the enteroendocrine signals that help regulate hormones throughout your body, including testosterone. A compromised gut barrier can even allow inflammatory compounds into circulation, compounding endothelial damage. In essence, your breakfast choices create a feedback loop: sugar and refined carbs, insulin spikes, lowered testosterone, plus inflammation, impaired endothelial function, reduced nitric oxide, diminished blood flow, and stamina. Understanding this chain reaction is crucial, because once you recognize the levers at play, you can intentionally adjust your diet and lifestyle to interrupt the cycle, restore hormonal balance, and reignite the nitric oxide engine that powers your vitality. So what can you eat? Now that we've exposed the hidden breakfast saboteurs, you're probably wondering, what should you reach for instead? Don't worry. Transforming your mornings doesn't require giving up flavor or convenience. In fact, later in this video, we'll explore 3 powerhouse superfoods that support healthy testosterone levels and turbocharge nitric oxide production. But first, it's important to shift your mindset. Breakfast isn't a free-for-all, and not all carbs are created equal. By choosing whole food options that release energy slowly, you'll stabilize blood sugar, minimize insulin surges, and nurture both your gut health and hormonal balance. Stay tuned, because up next we'll reveal the top 3 foods you should be eating tonight for sustained stamina, vascular resilience, and the confidence to conquer every day and every night. Imagine having an ally in your corner that counteracts the damage of those breakfast saboteurs and turbocharges your vascular health day after day, meal after meal. That's exactly what Nitric Boost does. Formulated with clinically studied doses of L-citrulline beetroot powder and antioxidant-rich polyphenols, Nitric Boost works on two fronts. It provides your endothelial cells with the building blocks they need to produce nitric oxide, and it neutralizes the oxidative stress that sugar and refined carbs create. Together, these actions help your arteries stay flexible, your blood pressure in check, and your testosterone-supported nitric oxide engines firing on all cylinders. Here's how it works. L-citrulline converts into L-arginine in your kidneys, fueling the nitric oxide synthase enzymes in your blood vessels. Beetroot powder contributes dietary nitrates, which your body then reduces to nitric oxide, giving you an immediate natural vasodilator effect. Meanwhile, the polyphenols in Nitric Boost mop up free radicals, protecting your endothelial cells from the inflammation that comes with sugar spikes. The result: enhanced blood flow when you need it most during your workouts throughout the day and in those vital, intimate moments. Rather than relying on quick-fix stimulants or pharmaceuticals, Nitric Boost supports your body's own pathways, so you experience sustained improvements in stamina recovery and confidence. Best of all, you don't need a prescription, just a simple scoop mixed into water juice or your morning smoothie. No crash, no jitters, just consistent support for your vascular system and hormonal health. How to incorporate Nitric Boost. Adding Nitric Boost to your routine is effortless, and it amplifies every meal's benefits. First thing in the morning, mix 1 scoop into a glass of water or your favorite fruit smoothie. The quick-absorbing beet powder and L-citrulline start supporting your endothelial cells within minutes, setting the stage for steady blood flow throughout the day. Before exercise or an active day, stir a scoop into a small bottle of water and sip it 30 minutes prior to your workout or commute. This primes your vessels to deliver oxygen and nutrients more efficiently. If you're short on time, you can even blend Nitric Boost into plain yogurt or oatmeal, disguising it in a familiar texture while still reaping its full benefits. In the evening, pair Nitric Boost with a light snack like a handful of nuts or a piece of whole fruit to maintain balanced nitric oxide levels overnight. Consistent daily use ensures your endothelial function stays robust, compensating for any dietary slip-ups and reinforcing the tiny blood vessels that fuel morning performance. No special equipment or complicated protocols, just 1 convenient scoop 3 times a day if you like to keep your vascular system firing on all cylinders and your manhood protected from sunrise to sunset. Success story: Mr. Josh Morning Revival. Meet Mr. Josh, a 62-year-old engineer who came to me frustrated by his sudden loss of morning vitality. Despite regular exercise and a healthy diet, he found himself battling fatigue, low libido, and weak erections that eroded his confidence. After reviewing his breakfast routine, sugary cereals, juice, and low-fat yogurt, we replaced those choices with whole food alternatives and added Nitric Boost to his regimen. Within 2 weeks, Mr. Josh reported waking up with renewed energy and stronger, more consistent morning erections. His midday slump vanished, replaced by clear focus and sustained stamina, both at work and at home. Laboratory tests confirmed what he experienced. His fasting insulin levels fell by 18%. His markers of endothelial function improved significantly, and his total testosterone rose by nearly 12%. Most importantly, Mr. Josh said he felt like himself again, confident, energized, and fully engaged in life's most intimate moments. His transformation wasn't magic. It was the result of cutting out the breakfast saboteurs and fueling his body with the right nutrients and targeted support. And if a busy professional like Mr. Josh can reclaim his morning performance, so can you. Bonus tip: breakfast superfood swap. Now let me give you 3 simple swaps to elevate your breakfast from saboteur to supercharger. Swap your processed cereal for chia seed pudding. Mix chia seeds with unsweetened almond milk, a dash of cinnamon, and a handful of berries. The chia seeds provide fiber and omega-3s that slow digestion, stabilize blood sugar, and feed your gut microbiome, setting a foundation for balanced hormones and sustained energy. Instead of sweetened yogurt, reach for a Greek-style alternative full-fat plain Greek yogurt topped with walnuts and a drizzle of raw honey. The healthy fats buffer carb absorption. The protein supports muscle repair, and the honey adds just enough natural sweetness without triggering insulin spikes. Finally, trade pancake stacks for a power-packed omelet whisk. 2 eggs with spinach, tomatoes, and sliced mushrooms, then cook in a bit of olive oil. This combo delivers clean protein, heart-healthy fats, and antioxidants, fueling both your testosterone production and nitric oxide pathways without the sugar crash. These 3 swaps are quick, versatile, and downright delicious, so you'll look forward to breakfast, knowing you're not only protecting your vascular health, but turbocharging your all-day and all-night stamina. Key takeaways. Let's quickly revisit what we've uncovered today. First 5 seemingly innocent breakfast staples: processed cereals, sweetened yogurts, pancakes with syrup, fat-free pastries, and fruit juices are stealthily sabotaging your hormonal balance and endothelial function through sugar spikes, inflammation, and insulin-mediated testosterone suppression. Next, you saw how this cascade of effects diminishes nitric oxide production, the very molecule that keeps your blood vessels relaxed and your erection strong, turning your morning routine into a vascular minefield. Then we introduced Nitric Boost, a targeted supplement blend of L-citrulline dietary nitrates from beetroot and protective polyphenols designed to replenish your endothelial cells' ability to produce nitric oxide and to neutralize oxidative stress. Finally, you learned 3 simple breakfast swaps: chia seed pudding, full-fat Greek yogurt with nuts, and a veggie-loaded omelet that stabilize blood sugar support, gut health, and naturally bolster testosterone and nitric oxide pathways. By avoiding the hidden pitfalls at breakfast and integrating these powerful strategies, you'll not only protect your vascular health, but reclaim the stamina and confidence that should greet you each morning. If you found this information eye-opening, hit that like button to let me know, and don't forget to subscribe for more insider tips on optimizing men's health naturally. Ready to take control of your mornings and supercharge your stamina? Click the link below to try Nitric Boost risk-free and join thousands of men who've already reclaimed their confidence. Remember, every day starts with a choice. Make yours count. Thanks for watching. I'm Dr. Henry. In our next video, I'll reveal the #1 evening ritual that can double your testosterone levels overnight. You won't want to miss it, so hit the notification bell now and stay tuned.